Hello, this is Myra Elaine on the Buying Space Channel. This is what the hymns we sing from on Sunday in our Sunday school class. It's the worship hymnal. I do have a playlist for these hymnals, the songs that we sing every week. It's not public at this point in time, but it will be soon. And this is God Abides. This is the adult Bible studies for winter 2023 and 24. We have today's lesson and next week's lesson. And then we start in Encounters in Prayer and Love. So this will start in March. And I've got the concise commentary for Marty because Marty usually reads the scriptures. Let me make sure the scriptures are in here. Well, I guess we'll both be reading from both. Let's see. It's usually in the last of the booklet before the next lesson. It's not listed. The focal passage, the daily readings are not listed in this. That's what I was hoping for, but this is the lessons. So I'll still have to give Marty the passages to read every day, but that's okay. I'm looking forward to Encounters in Prayer and Love. We've been studying prayer, and one of the daily readings for today is from Job. See if I can find Job. Job is one of those books that I'd like to read on the air. Job was a very, there it is, it's before Psalms. He was a very good person, had a very good life, and God and the devil decided to debate over Job and tempt Job. But today's lesson is on prayer. And the Bible selections I could have chosen from this week were Jeremiah, Genesis, Numbers, Job, which I'm reading, 1 Kings, Nehemiah, and Matthew. And Matthew's the focal passage this week that usually my Sunday school teacher covers, but Sunday school teachers in churches across the United States will be reading that passage from Matthew. So I read a supplemental reading, and I don't read anything from the Torah or the first 5 books of the Bible, also called the Pentateuch, because I'm reading that on Sunday evenings. So we're going to read from Job 3. After this, Job opened his mouth and cursed the day of his birth. And Job spoke and said, May the day perish on which I was born, the night in which it was said, a male child is conceived. May that day be darkness. May God above not seek it, nor the light shine upon it. May darkness in the shadow of death claim it. May a cloud settle on it. May the blackness of the day terrify it. As for that night, may darkness seize it. May it not rejoice among the days of the year. May it not come unto the number of the months. Oh, may that night be barren. May no joyful shout come unto it. May those who curse it, who curse the day, those who are ready to arouse levitation. Oh, Leviathan. Those who are ready to arouse the Leviathan. May the stars of the morning be dark. May it look for light, but have none, and not see the dawning of the day, because it did not shut up the doors of my mother's womb, nor hide sorrow from my eyes. Why did I not die at birth? Why did I not perish when I came from the womb? Why did the knees receive me? Or why did the breast that I should nurse? For now I would have lain still and been quiet. I would have been asleep. Then I would have been at rest with kings and counselors of the earth who built ruins for themselves, or with the princes who had gold, who filled their houses with silver. Or why was I not hidden like a stillborn child, like the infants who never saw light? There were wicked There the wicked cease from troubling, and there the weary are at rest. There our prisoners rest together. They do not hear the voice of the oppressor. The small and great are there, and servant is free from his master. Why is light given unto them who is in misery, and life to the bitter of the soul, who long for death, but it does not come, and search for it more than hidden treasures, who rejoice exceedingly and are glad when they can find the grave. Why is light given to a man whose way is hidden, and whom God has hedged in? For my sighing comes before I eat, and my groanings pour out like water. For the thing I greatly feared has come upon me, and what I dreaded has happened unto me. I am not at ease, nor am I quiet. I have no rest, for trouble comes. Wow. Job was a little depressed. And this is one of the most dramatic depictions of death I've ever read. I guess at this point, he's lost everything. I haven't read Job completely through for, decades, probably since I was a child. I read this as a child. And this isn't, Job is suicidal at this point and is calling for death and cursing the day he was conceived, or he knew he was conceived, and they said it was going to be a boy. He cursed that day. Wow. I just kind of overwhelmed with the depth of his depression. But he did not give up. Even though he was praying for death, he did not give up. My grandmother, when she was in her 90s in a nursing home, she prayed for death for 4 years before she died. And God had more things for her to do. More people she needed to talk to, more people she needed to influence in her life. She had 7 children and their spouses, and 36 grandchildren and their spouses, who took comfort in her existence, that we could call her or send her a card or go visit her. I was 12 hours away. We did go to see her several times in the nursing home. But she prayed every day to die. And she did not know the amount of comfort she was to us just by being there, that we could go see her, call her. You just don't know how much joy or comfort you bring to other people just by being there. We had a lady at the church. I didn't get a chance to spend much time with her. Sweet lady. And she moved out of state. And as soon as they told me, from the time that they announced that she was leaving until she left, I was depressed. And I hardly ever saw her, hardly ever spoke to her. But just her presence in the church comforted me. Now she's still alive and she's in North Carolina and she's still the same grand lady that she was when she was going to my church every Sunday. But she was an encouragement to me. And I'm going to miss that. And Job, even though he had this day, even though he cursed when he was conceived and they knew he was a boy, and he cursed his life and talked about how many people are wanting to die, he didn't. And he moved on and he did great things. He fought the good fight, as they say. And so did my grandmother. And when she passed away, all 7 of her children were alive. And they were all past 60. And all of them, except for one, had grandchildren. He had 4 children, but no grandchildren. And they all were alive with spouses when she passed away in her 90s. And they were all in their 60s and 70s. That's a tremendous testimony in itself. To have that longevity and to have your children have that longevity and not lose one, not one, at the time of your death in your 90s. She was a Proverbs 31 woman, but that's another reading. And I dearly love my grandmother. And she had days like this. We all do. Don't give up. Keep moving on. You don't know how selfish it is to act upon this. Yes, Job here points out what a relief it would be to some people in some situations, but it would not be a relief to the people that love you. It would be very detrimental. So please, you don't know who you're influencing just by being there. Your presence upon the earth is important, and God has things for you to do. Even if it's just to be a comfort to people that know you, because you're a blessing and you have been a blessing. Even if you don't believe that, you've been a blessing. You all have a wonderful and blessed day.